Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. When she submitted to a man in the past, but not you. And I've got to shout out one of my supporters, Zero. And he didn't request this, and y'all know how I am about public requests. I always say you want to request things, you need to join my Patreon. Most of the time on there, I'll answer a video request. It's like, oh, you want to know this? Unless it's something I always talk about anyway. But I'm gonna tell you what, he made that statement. I was like, you know what? I gotta address that because he made it on the video I talked about, where I talked about, be more concerned about a woman's emotional attachment. Because in that video, I had said, and even quoted Cousin T-Tall, many women can have sex with a man and it's just like a handshake. But when they emotionally attach, that's an issue. That's an issue. Oh, and real quick on that video, somebody had said, well, all women have to, women always have to be emotionally attached to have sex. Fellas, y'all gotta learn how cold-blooded women can be. Y'all gotta learn how cold-blooded a woman can be. A lot of women, they'll have sex with a man just because he's spending money or something. They don't care about him emotionally. They just care about that money or whatever. They ain't pressed about him. They're not pressed. Or if they need their bills paid or something. It's not always emotional with women. They can be cold-blooded when they need something done. So let me get that out of the way. But here's another situation though. Just like you should be concerned about a woman being emotionally attached to somebody in the past, you need to be very concerned if she submitted to a man. Now we know that's a big deal for men. That's a big deal, a woman being in submission. And I always say a woman needs to be in submission to a man's mission anyway. But what if you get that woman, and a lot of guys get that woman, what if you get that woman and she in a relationship, but quite frankly, she don't submit to you. She does not submit to you. And indeed, if you look at the overall picture, she don't even give you the best sex. She don't do a lot. In fact, it could even be a situation where you're not really a priority to her. See, remember, I'm known for talking about select and non-select. Remember, I introduced it to this whole YouTube sector. In fact, YouTube period. Talking about select and non-select. And even before that, Master Yao and Yamache Morris had talked about select and non-select, but nobody else was talking about it. Nobody else was talking about it. And see, a lot of people heard that, and you get some people think, oh, if a man's non-select, he don't get sex at all. No, I've said in a video before, non-select men still get sex. The only issue is quality of sex. For the simple reason, there's not enough select men to go around. In fact, I did a video talking about, the whole 80-20 rule. Now, I said specifically, if you're saying specifically that, women desire 20% of men, I said I agree with that fully. But then I say when it comes down to sex overall, more men than that get sex. Men in that 80%, or if you want to call it non-select, get sex for one simple reason. There's not enough of the 20% or select men to go around. Right? So non-select men are still getting play. They still getting women, but it's not the same quality. And there's a whole lot of guys out there, they might even think they're select because, okay, they got this woman, but they ain't thinking, or they might not have enough experience with women to realize, wait a minute, this woman only giving me pancake sex. Oh, this woman has never given me a blowjob. Oh, this woman gives me hell on everything. Indeed, you do have situations out there where it's obvious the woman ain't in submission to a man. Like when I first started on YouTube, one of my earliest videos, I said I have real issues when a woman walks in front of a man. And I've seen that a lot. That man is not select to her. She just has the man there. She's the boss. Indeed, and for people who know about some of my deeper materials, like if you go through my description box, I have a video on the 5 sexual personality types of women. There's some women, they have a control thing, and they only deal with a man if they can exercise some type of control, right? And that woman is definitely not submitting to a man. Now, this is the thing you need to be concerned about as a man. Does she see you as select or non-select? Is she getting up after sex to make you some French toast? Shout out C Boogie. Is she listening to you? Is she really following your lead? I want you to think about that. Now, if there's a guy in her past where she did all that for, oh, she's still thinking about him. Indeed, if she did all that for him, she had an emotional attachment to him anyway. You know, it was more than just the sex. She had a serious emotional attachment if she doing all of that, right? So if you were, as a man, you find out, and you would have to find out. Like, here's the thing. Very few women are going to be honest with a non-select man. Let me be clear about that. In fact, I had said that before, and so of course some people heard that, but all they heard was, well, all women are lying. It's like, well, why would they tell Rom? I specifically said, if they find a man sexy or select, they'll tend to be honest with him. But then if they find him select, and she submitted to a man in the past, she's going to submit to him. But see, a lot of men who are non-select, when they deal with the woman, very rare the woman is going to be honest with them and say, oh yeah, you know, I gave this man everything. You know, and sometimes you do get some who will, but for the most part they don't. But let's say you find out maybe because of the social circle you in that, yeah, there was a man she submitted to in the past. Like say you out and you in the same social circle and, you know, somebody see you with the woman and then somebody, you know, he gets a dude who's, you know, he's going to be cool. He's going to take you to the side and say, look, man, I need to tell you, man. I see how, like, you walking behind her, how she talking to you and all that. But I knew her back in the day with this dude who, she was like, yes, daddy, yes, sir, all of that. She walked like 6 paces behind him and all of that, right? 6 paces behind him and all of that. She's going to be like, you know, she's not treating you right. She's not submitting to you. Look, if you find out, and not just even for the submission thing, emotional attachment thing, sex thing, that the woman is not giving you the same treatment that she gave men in the past, or a particular man in the past, don't take that relationship seriously. Don't put a ring on the finger. At best, and I'm saying at best, get your rocks off a few times, but then roll on. Because, and I've said this before, it's better to have a woman's respect than her love. It's better to have her respect than her love. It's better to have her respect than her like doing some pancake sex. See, if a woman gets with a man and she does not look up to him in psychological respect, that's not really his woman. And that's when you always make the joke about the my bad situation. You're likely to get that. Shoot, she might be the type to do it right in your bed or something. Indeed, you got situations where some women, they'll even like look that man in the eye and say, look, I want an open relationship. I want to hook up with this guy. I'm serious, you got to think about it. Yeah, the whole open relationship thing is complicated, and you do get some cases where, well, the woman doing something, the man doing even more. But you get some cases where the man's not interested in it at all, but the woman's like pretty much telling him. And she's doing everything for this other guy, but very little for you. If you find yourself in that situation, you need to roll on. Like I said, like just in general, forget how much money you got, how good you think you look or whatever. If that woman ain't giving you respect, don't deal with her. Seriously, like I said, I'd rather have a woman's respect than her love. Because love, well, the Western version of love is basically lust anyway, but respect. Because once a woman don't respect you, she's not your woman. She's not your woman. So if a woman is submitted to a man in the past, but not you, that's not your woman. And like I say, it can be tough. Most women ain't gonna tell you, but still, you know how this woman's treating you, even if you don't know who she dealt with. If she treat you a certain way, you don't put up with it. Don't even want sex that badly, you won't put up with anything less than full respect. A woman who will follow your lead. And let me be clear about that, because let me be clear. You do have responsibility for her when you in that lead. But if she ain't even giving you that much, why are you dealing with her? Seriously. Because like I said, people can talk about non-select 80%. There's still men in those groups who are going to get women. They're going to get married, all of that. But how are they being treated? You know, how often they getting sex? How often is she looking at him with respect? Shoot, you got some situations, a man going home, that woman won't even put a plate on the table for him. Shoot, you got some situations, they don't even sleep in the same bedroom, and not in a good way. Not in a good way, you know? And it's like she ration off whatever she gonna do. She just has just enough sex with the man just to keep general peace. You don't want to be in that situation. You gotta be honest with it too. And the thing is, once you in that situation, I'm gonna be real. You can't really do anything to change anything. Only way that could possibly, the only way, I'm gonna say the only way that things will change up for real, y'all would have to split apart, and then you would have to change yourself over a year or 2 years, and then she see you again, and you just presenting something new. That's the only way you want to change it. But if you in that situation, don't do it. Because I'm gonna tell you something now. Many men, one of the best ways to lose your masculine vitality, your masculine energy, is to deal with a woman who don't respect you, because she's going to gradually break you down. It's not even healthy for you. If that woman ain't showing respect for you, if she's not doing for you what she gave easily to men in the past, don't waste your time with that. I'm serious, don't waste your time, all right? Seriously, you gotta stand up. I've talked about a man having standards, and a man being, you know, people always talk about purpose, mission. That's the main thing a man has to do, is be on his mission. And see, the thing is, if he's not on his mission, let me put it like this. If he don't do it and he's not on his mission, the woman ain't gonna respect him. She ain't gonna respect the man she got control of. See, that's one of the things that those women who like to control men, it's funny. They'll control the man, they'll feel good. But then the guys that they cheat with are men who don't exercise control, guys who look at them and say, hey, go make me a ham sandwich, you know, who put them in their place. So I want y'all to think about that, all right? I want y'all to think about all that. You gotta stand up for yourself. Your main relationship is with yourself, all right? So that's all I have for today, y'all. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.